Hey everybody, Michael Snyder, California Weather Watch. Today is October 22nd, and right now we are looking at the mid-level water vapor loop. You can see the state of California and the Hawaiian Islands to the bottom left. We've got the Pacific Ocean out here, and we've got a system developing we've been talking about for some time. We've got some cold air dropping down across the Pacific Ocean. This is going to spin up and bring a frontal system towards the Pacific Northwest. Some of that might clip portions of California. And then we'll look at the extended forecast as well, as we'll continue to have active weather swinging down across Pacific Northwest. How much of the frontal system activity will include portions of California? Will we eventually tease some mountain snow or get some frontal systems across the region? That's what we're watching for, and we're going to take a look at that as we go through the video here today, taking a look at where we are right now. You can see some of that marine layer across some of the Bay Area here, some mid and high-level clouds streaming across Oregon and Northern California, but pretty clear skies across much of Southern California. Get out there and enjoy that. You can see the sun rising across the area as we speak. Take a look at Phoenix. You may have a few more record highs coming as we go through the end of the week. Look at Friday and Saturday. Right now, forecast to be record highs. You could get a little bit closer as we go through the week here, but yeah, Phoenix continues their record extremely warm year. The entire year of 2024 has just been off the charts. So looking at composite reflectivity on the high resolution North American model, you can see as we go through tomorrow, you can see this starting off as we go through tomorrow morning across some of Northern California, just kind of getting clipped by some light precipitation here as we go through Wednesday afternoon. By the time we get on in towards the Wednesday evening and nighttime period, that is going to be out of our hair. And then we turn our eyes to the Pacific Ocean. We watch the storm system develop out here and see exactly what track it is going to take. And we'll look at that starting now. This is last night's European artificial intelligence. You can see that system out here that we saw in the mid-level water vapor loop. We got a tropical system down here to the south of Baja. We're going to take a look at that as we go through this weather model and scroll through it. Here we go. There goes that system moving towards Pacific Northwest. That frontal system tries to clip northern portions, doesn't make too much headway down into California, but then we've got the westerlies rolling through the Pacific Northwest, and that may bring a frontal system down to mainly northern portions here. Hopefully it can reach portions of central California, and we can drop off some precipitation in the form of snow with some cooler air aloft across some of the Sierra Nevada here as well as we go on into the extended forecast and in towards the end of October there. So crossing your fingers for that. Doesn't look exceptionally wet with that system, but hopefully we can eventually start to get some precipitation down into the region. And if I back that up, you can kind of see that tropical system. It tries to get pulled back up towards the state of California, but then this ridge kind of fills in here and it shunts and pushes that moisture down and limits its extent back towards the northeast and kind of keeps that trap down, across areas that are off to the east of the Hawaiian Islands. Doesn't allow much of that moisture to get back up into the state of California. And take a look at the GFS. Something similar here as well. We've got this system rolling and then it moves up towards Pacific Northwest. This frontal system on the GFS just barely clipping Northern California. Not much in the way of precipitation there. But then we get the westerlies. We get another frontal system moving through the Pacific Northwest with some colder air aloft, and hopefully that can bring some precipitation amounts. So there's pretty good model agreement with something coming for California here as we go on in towards the weekend and the early portion of next week. Also trying to show some of that precipitation from that tropical system, but again, it kind of gets shunted back down to the south by this ridge of high pressure developing out across the Pacific Ocean and allowing systems and cold air to move through the Pacific Northwest. And again, crossing our fingers, hopefully that is going to include the state of California and some of the Southwest as we go towards the end of the month. Now, taking a look at significant wave height, as we scroll on in through today, tonight, and tomorrow, you'll see that system out there starting to generate some wave action. You can see the waves associated with that tropical system off to our south. And as we bring this into the Pacific Northwest, it clips initially Northern California, then we have this deep low across the Gulf of Alaska, and eventually some of that wave action is going to translate down the California coastline here as we go on in through the later portions of the weekend and probably on in through Monday here. And we'll be watching that coming up here. But, it's something. A little bump in that wave action on the coastline. Looking at total precipitation, in inches. We're going to scroll on in through here, and you can see the system right there. That's that frontal system towards Pacific Northwest. It does clip some northern portions. And then we turn that next frontal system back towards Pacific Northwest, and that could include California at times as we go on in through next week. Not a lot of precipitation showing up for the Sierra Nevada or for the Bay Area and Sacramento here. So, Unfortunately, we have to take what we can get. We can't force Mother Nature to start bringing us frontal systems, at least just yet anyway. Total snow in inches. I'm going to scroll through this pretty quickly as well. And as we go on in towards the early portion of next week, maybe we have some snow in store for the higher terrain. Some of that colder air tries to make its way down into California. Something that's been showing up here as well. There goes that frontal system to the Pacific Northwest. We remain above average as we go towards the weekend coming up here. And you can see some places substantially so. Nevada, Utah, Arizona, a large portion of California. And then as we go into the early portion of next week, it looks like we cool things down a bit as we move on in towards the Halloween time period at the end of the month of October. So that is kind of nice to see there. And then you can see maybe we'll bounce back in the early portion of November, but take that with a grain of salt. We're looking too far out. Taking a look at the national blend of models, and of course at this time of year, if you are above average, it's not quite a big a deal here. We're starting to go through the seasonal change where temperatures are definitely dropping off. Here's tomorrow, October 23rd, and we go through Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You see nice comfortable temperatures out there. Even the desert areas are starting to cool down a bit this time of year, of course. And then we go on in towards the Halloween period here. Check it out, 70s out there and some upper 60s for the Sacramento Valley. 6 to 10 day, you can see that below average signal starting to include portions of California as we go towards the end of the month. There's a 6 to 10 day precipitation outlook. You got to take that with a grain of salt, though. You saw some of the difficulty these frontal systems were having in bringing some of that precipitation down into the area. So we'll be watching that and breaking it down day by day. The 8 to 14 day, that was kind of nice there with some below average temperatures across a lot of the west. And the 8 to 14 day, again, is kind of a general broad brush above average here across a lot of the west. And I am doing a La Nina video right now. It's probably going to debut on the Pacific Northwest Weather Channel page. And we are in La Nina watch. We're still expected to go into La Nina conditions, but it's close. We could end up being neutral here, but I'll break that down in the video. I'll be working on that today. But yeah, anyway, hope you guys are enjoying these videos. We'll continue to look what's coming in our future here, and click like and subscribe, and we'll do this all again tomorrow, and I will talk to you guys then.